Friends, today we're going to discuss the trip circuit supervision relay. We'll understand it in detail, its philosophy, and how we can use it practically so you can connect it to any type of relay, any make. However, in the next videos, I'm going to cover different makes, AB, SIEMENS, Areva, etc. So, we'll understand in detail how all those trip circuit supervision relays are wired. But for that, we first need to understand the basic principles of the trip circuit supervision relay. If we have this understanding, we can do the wiring of any trip circuit supervision relay quite well. So, first, we'll try to understand how a trip circuit supervision relay works. So, friends, let's understand how our trip circuit supervision relay works. This fundamental principle is common to all. Only the wiring contacts and so on change. Okay? So, this is a basic principle. Once you understand it, I hope you'll understand how all the trip circuit supervision relays available on the market work. So, this is a basic diagram. Here we understand how a trip circuit supervision relay works. So, there are 3 coils to consider: A, B, and C. Now, any coil, let's say A is any type of coil. Let's say I'm talking about a DC coil. How will it work? So, when will this energy become active? So, when it receives a positive current at one end and a negative current at the other. So, whenever a coil receives both a positive and a negative current, this coil will become active. Okay? And any contacts connected to it will also convert from No to NC. This is simple logic within an electrical system. So, to energize the coil, we need a positive and a negative. So what did we do? Here's coil A. What did we give it? A positive. Okay? Okay, we've placed a resistance here. So why is there a resistance? Resistance is a very important thing. Let's say this is a coil. We've placed a positive and a negative on this coil. Suppose this coil has a resistance inside itself. The coil has an internal resistance. You all know this. Okay? So, suppose this resistance decreases or the coil shorts out for any reason, due to internal heating or any other reason. What will happen? The positive and negative won't go through the coil. They will short out directly. And what will happen to our DC? The positive and negative will short out. So our fuse will also burn out here. Our fuse will fail here, and our DC circuit, the DC wiring, will have a problem. Okay? It could even blow the fuse inside the battery charger or cause significant damage. It's a coil. If the coil is damaged internally, our positive and negative currents will short. So, what the resistance does here is that even if this coil is shorted, our positive current will still flow through the resistance. So, the coil will short. Suppose this coil is shorted. The negative current will be positioned at this point on the resistance, and the positive current will also be on the other side of the resistance. So, both the positive and negative currents won't short simultaneously, so our DC current will remain continuously on our panel. Even if our coil is damaged, we need to use resistance to do this. The trip circuit is built into the supervision relay. It's built in to ensure that our DC system, what will it be? It will be healthy. Let's move on to the second stage. In the second stage, you'll hear 2 words here. One is post-close and the other is pre-close supervision. Post-close means supervision after the close, and pre-close means supervision before the breaker closes. What do we need to supervise here, friends? So, we need to supervise the tripping coil. Why? Because after the breaker closes, the tripping of the breaker occurs suddenly. It will only occur when the current is activated within the system. Only then will the breaker trip. So, to determine whether our tripping coil is healthy, we absolutely need a trip circuit supervision relay. If we don't know whether our coil is capable of tripping, right? What will happen is that our system won't trip. If the breaker doesn't trip, it can cause numerous problems within the system. Because there will be excessive current, it can damage our transformers, our breakers, and many other pieces of equipment. So, here, pre-close and post-close supervision is what our tripping coil provides 24 hours a day, 24/7. Meaning, whether the breaker is closed or open, the health of our tripping coil can be determined here. So, what is called pre-close supervision and what is called post-close supervision? Let's understand. Here's a diagram. This is our coil. The tripping coil, okay? How does this actually work? Let's understand first. So, we have a negative wire attached to the tripping coil. Okay? This negative wire will pass through the coil and go to our tack switch. And from here, when we close the tack, one side of the tack will be positive. On the other side, there's this wire. This positive wire will transfer here and go directly to the coil. We have two auxiliary contacts. One of ours is NC, this one will become no, and this one, which is 0, will become NC. Okay? The auxiliary switch operates accordingly, so that the breaker's status reverses from what it was before. When my breaker closes, what do we get here? This negative coil will pass through and stop at 2 points, one here and the other here. Both are points, but their functions are different. When will voltage reach these points? When my breaker opens. Okay, so right now my breaker is open, so this contact will also open, so my voltage won't go any further. It will stop here. Okay? It will stop at this point. But from here, the voltage will go to our coil number 10. Okay? This is our post-close point. So, we will get negative here. Okay? We have given positive on the B coil. How is it given? So, it is positive here. This positive here will go from RF12 to K13 and come to positive here. Okay? After crossing the resistance, it will come to positive here. So, the positive is already here. Where are we getting the negative from? We're getting the negative from pre-close supervision. So, the entire negative came from this pre-close supervision, and the negative finally came here. So, this point is our negative. So what did the B coil get? It got negative. Positive from here. It got positive from the new number. It got negative at number 10. The B coil is energized. As soon as the B coil is energized, I told you what its contact will be. It will be NC. Right now it is no. So, it will become NC. As soon as it becomes NC, as soon as the B coil becomes NC, the positive here, which is K1, will come from here and come to the positive of the C1 coil. We have provided negative on one side of the C1 coil, which is to be given. The C coil is our main one because it's connected to contacts, which we can use in alarms or in lamps elsewhere. For example, if a TC lamp comes on or an alarm circuit comes on. Okay? So, our pre-close works exactly like this. Same thing applies for post-close as well, okay? So, let's talk about post-close supervision. You must have understood pre-close. Pre-close is the state before the breaker closes. Now, let's assume the breaker closes. Once the breaker closes, what will happen to this contact? It will close, and this contact will open. If it's open, the negative will not flow from here. So, the negative will stop here. So our B coil will not be energized in this case, okay? What will happen now is that this is negative. It will go from here to NC. So from here, it will reach negative at number 12. So this is our post-close supervision negative, the negative of the coil. If my coil here is damaged, for example, then this negative won't go any further. Okay, so the coil is okay. That means the coil came in here and went out here. Okay? I'm talking about the tripping coil, and here at 12, the negative is already there, and at 11, the positive is already there. So what will this one coil do for us? It will be energized. As soon as one coil is energized, what will be the context here? It will be energized, meaning it will be NC. As soon as NC is reached, or the positive is already there, it will come and rest on the C coil, the positive, and our negative is already standing near the C coil. Okay? So, as soon as both the positive and negative are energized, the C coil is energized. As soon as it is energized, our trip circuit, which is healthy, will glow because it is no. Okay, so, as soon as the NC signal is activated, the glow lamp indicating that our trip circuit is healthy will glow. And here, we'll reverse the announcement. What will the announcement be? TC1 and 2. Okay, for TC1, trip coils 1 and 2, the same thing, the same process, is applicable for trip coil 1 as well. Because both breakers have two coils inside, trip coil 1, and the other one is trip coil 2. So, based on both trip coils, we need to install two trip circuit supervision relays that will maintain the health of our trip circuits. This way, you can wire both trip circuits 1 and 2. You can understand both of them. Suppose your trip circuit 1 goes full. So, what do you need to check? Suppose your trip circuit 1 goes full. Let's say the relay inside the panel is showing full because our C coil is not energized. Okay? So, suppose the breaker is closed, and our tripping circuit is fully active. If the breaker is closed, which circuit do we need to check? This is the post-close one, because the breaker is closed. If the breaker is open, we need to check the pre-close circuit, but if the breaker is closed, we need to check the post-close circuit. Okay? So, in the post-close, we first need to see if our coil is negative or if there's a negative current there. If there's a negative current on the coil, we'll move on. Is this contact here passing on through our annular spoke? If that doesn't happen, this contact remains no. Even if it's not NC, our negative won't move from here. If it's moving here, if there's a negative current here, then here we need to check number 11, meaning on the other side of the coil, to see if there's a positive current there. If the positive is there and our coil is active, then is the positive contact number 18 of the coil extending from there or not? If this contact is faulty, our C coil will not be active, and our tripping coil will show a fault. So, by monitoring the voltage step by step, you can diagnose a fault in the trip circuit supervision relay, or even if you need to install a new one. In the next video, we'll discuss how to wire the trip circuit supervision relays of AB, Areva, and all the other manufacturers available in the market. What is the terminology of each? Yes, the fundamentals are the same. We will work on these fundamentals. However, their terminals, connections, and internal structures are slightly different. We'll try to address this in the next videos. Until then, if you have any questions, please comment. I'll try to give you a prompt reply. And if you enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and keep learning. Keep learning, keep growing. Thank you. Thank you very much.